Welcome back to the Robot Brains podcast on the DL, where we take a step away from AI and learn more about our latest guest with 10 quick personal questions. All right, let's dive in. If you could have a robot take over any part of your life, what would you have it do?
Honestly, I really would love a self-driving car at this point in time. So just the driving portion would be incredible.
Who has inspired you the most in your career journey?
I would have to bring up two people, and one that is someone that is directly impacted my career, and I think has directly been so helpful in my career, and that's Richard Socher. And he just seeing the incredible work that he did while he was at Stanford, and then translating that into a company. I think it inspired me, and it also inspired, at this point of time, dozens, if not hundreds of other founders. And then I'd also say more broadly, I think, you look at people that are working on super challenging hardware and software problems, and willing to build hardware. I think it might be a bit of a cliche, but you look at like Elon Musk. That's super inspiring. I think for our company, it makes it a lot easier to build a device when you can see someone's building rockets and someone's building cars. And so I think it's a constant North Star in that sense, that you can in fact innovate and build great hardware products and ship them, and despite all the challenges associated with them.
If you could give robots and machines one human value, sense of humor, conscience, value system, anything else, what would it be?
Sense of humor. And the reason I say that is because I think that if you figure out humor, or if you understand the purpose behind humor, there's a lot of other human attributes that sort of click in place. And I think it's something that is actually fairly complex to encode. And so and I also just think it would be really fun.
Outside of the world of tech, what excites you most about the current state of the world?
I sincerely believe that in the next 5 to 10 years, we will have solved big parts of nuclear fusion. And you look at what's coming out of Commonwealth in Boston right now, and a lot of the other companies that are attacking fusion. We're going to solve energy and a lot of other problems associated with it, I think, in the next 5 to 10 years. I hope. And from that's obviously tech, but from that, I think there's just going to be a massive flood of time and resources that human population hasn't had before, obviously because of AI as well. And so what I'm really excited about is, what are we going to do with all that time and all that, new creative juice that's available?
If you had to give up work and volunteer for the rest of your life, what will you do and why?
I would probably volunteer to build schools in my home country, where I'm originally from, is India. And I know that there's a lot of efforts there to, especially in some of the more rural areas, to build schools focused on science and engineering, and start introducing a lot of those concepts earlier and earlier on.
What's the last book you read?
The one that I last completed was Bob Iger's The Ride of a Lifetime. And it sort of talks through his journey at Disney. And what I really liked about it is, I think in an era where it's so easy to jump around between jobs and start one thing and start another, it's a great sort of tale of what compounding looks like. He's stuck with one thing, and he just, he started as what was effectively a stagehand, literally, started at the bottom of the rung, I think earning $100 a week or something. And I think that story is incredible, because it shows if you stick with something and you do it really, really well, things will compound.
Best present you've ever received?
I think my favorite present is probably, it's this box in which it's carved with my initials on it, and one of my really good friends gave it to me, and I really like, number one, the handiwork, and I really also like the fact that it's something that I can physically store letters in, or little just items or tokens, or if I go to a movie that I really liked, I'll stick the ticket in there, and so it just collects things over time.
Dinner with one person, living or deceased?
I would love to have dinner with Feynman, and the reason is that I've read some of his books, and the humor and the wit. I think it would just be the most entertaining dinner, and also to hear about. I mean, he worked on in the 20th century some of the most important projects, and everything from the proliferation of obviously nuclear energy to the debugging the Challenger rocket launch crash. And so there's some incredible stories there, and I think it would have been an incredible dinner, and also just a lot of fun.
What's the most overrated virtue?
Confidence. And the reason is that they're some of the most intelligent people I know are some of the quietest and some of the most reserved. And I think today's society places so much weight in confidence. And I think it's honestly, it's led its way to make it very easy to be all talk and not actually, have the meat to back it up.
What's something that many people don't know about you?
I love playing chess. I remember I used to play a lot, and then Queen's Gambit came out, and then I started playing a lot more. It's a cool game. It's the rules are fairly well defined, and it's something that you can log online and play with anyone that speaks any language in the world, and start making friends that way. And so I am a big believer in it's also just, I feel like it just keeps the mind sharp. It's a good way to end the day.